That was perfection.
Slick as a slick thing from Slickland.
Fantastic. Excuse us our mild banter there, folks. Welcome to the Plastic Crack Podcast. It's episode 28, series 2. 28.
28.
That is absolutely, well, fantastic, really. I hope we've all cooled down after the hell that was last week, where I think I lost a third of my body weight in sweat. But apart with that vile mental image out of the way, how are we, chaps? How is everybody?
Well, good. I wish I had lost a third of my body weight.
So I'm the same there.
Very good indeed, Steve. It was a good week. Thank you, mate.
Good. Ken, how you been?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Not too bad. Painting yellow, which is always fun, as people know. So
that's very brave of you. Very brave.
Earl of Northumberland. He's a good man, Percy.
Wasn't a psychopath like most people.
He was a psychopath.
All right.
They all were.
Just sort of hedging my bets there.
Degrees of psychopath, aren't they? It just are they 1 to 10 psychopath or 11?
They're pretty bad. He was Neville.
He was just sad all the time. Henry Percy, because he kept his relatives just kept on getting killed, and then he tried to sort of assert himself, and then he got killed. So
that just sounds like an occupational hazard of the Wars of the Roses, though, getting killed and getting your family killed as well. But anyway, enough talk about psychopaths out of the way. Let's get on with some introduction. So as always, we have over there Dom from Boots on the Table.
Good evening.
Up there we have Martin, Seventh Son.
Hello.
And up there we have Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors.
Hello.
And I got everyone's channel name right.
Yeah, well done.
I know.
You did.
I'm quite chuffed with that. Right, let's see. Let's see who's rocked up and who we've got in the chat. So we got Joshua, we've got David, Lionheart. We've got show sponsor Evil Jim Reaper is in tonight, in nice and early as well. Harpham. I don't think we've seen Harpham before, have we?
No, don't know that name.
No.
Nope.
Welcome.
Ham and Jam, Paul Crouch. Good evening all from across the Atlantic.
Hello.
We've got Laser Pirate Painting, Howard Roberts, Louis Baby.
Hello.
Louis Baby.
I'm not going to mention.
I just think of it every time we see his name now. All I can think about is then things that are sitting behind me.
We do apologise, Louis. I think it's just a subliminal thing. We got Jim over in the States in Ohio. Steve Harbour, Rich John, Enemy in Sight. We got Friends of General Haig, Lee Gardner, SJMT66. We got Nick Games, Battle Matt, Marky Sparky, GP, Yorkshire Gamer, and Yorkshire. Yorkshire Gamer and Yorkshire Lagoon, you're far too close to each other. I got confused. I almost called you a Yorkshire.
You always see them together, Steve. I think they must be twins separated at birth. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to call them Yorkshire Dragoon or something. Luke Farrell, Bill Roy, got Culloden, Abrego, Miller's here, Covini 414. The music scared the shit out of him, apparently. That's classic film intro music, that, though. Yes.
We got Cedar Kuru Khan, we got Meza, Carl's in the house, Tim S, Sophia, Shakos and Sprues.
That's James.
Ken, here we go. Yorkshire Lagoon. Ken looks less moist this week.
Everybody is pleased about that.
I am
Everyone.
Infinitely pleased. There is an awful lot less moisture on this stream.
There's still a bit, but
there's still a bit, but not as much as last week now. Got Benjamin, evening all. Niall, Jeremy, Drew, who is still tempting Martin with more Anglo-Zulu war.
No. And then Carl went and like as if it's bad enough, like trying to avoid stuff. And then Carl reposted the battle report into the group. like I don't know. So I was like, no. It's like sitting there going, can I kick that one just because it's going to tempt me? He's like, no, I can't. It is like, oh dear. I know. I have no. Stop it. Get rid of it.
It is relevant though. We got ZKSF. Leslie's here. We got another one. Martin,
What have I
you've
done?
broken another one. My second box of pre-skip gunfighters are on the way.
Hey, it's a good choice. It's a good choice, isn't it? Steve, you know it.
So are Zulus. They're a good choice.
Yeah.
Really good choice.
Can we now? Can I kit bash that together?
What, Zulus and cowboys?
No, I was thinking about the pith helmet.
Oh,
in
right.
the Wild West. Can I put some Anglo Zulu? Because they're 1870s.
Yeah,
I could have some Victorian.
Yeah, why not?
Like a gentleman explorers off to find their fortune in gold in the Old West.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, okay. Hang on, I need a pen.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
I thought so too.
Travis, Tabletop CP is here. Welcome, Travis.
Hey, Travis.
Kavini, hi all from Colombia. We're racking up the countries recently. We really are. We need a big map and stick pins in.
Someone else said that as well. I think it was Ken as well.
Yeah, we need a map.
Oh, right.
That's a good idea.
That'd be a good idea. The Gollum DK, hello, first time watching live.
Hey.
Oh, that reminds me. Big thank you to everyone that's watching on the replay.
Well done.
Check it out. 7 minutes past 8, unlike Martin's 7 minutes to 9 the other week. Cat Roger 70, Sam Beckett. I've lost everyone now.
A lot of people
are all saying hello.
We have a special hello to say though, don't we?
Oh yeah, we do.
We do, and should probably do it now.
Yes.
So we're sponsored by Evil Jim Reaper, who's in the comments, and I understand from his wife Lizzie that it's his wedding anniversary tomorrow. It's their anniversary. She's also sent me a couple of photos. So there we go. There's the man that is plastic, right? But we would like, I don't know if anyone's got a drink. I had to get a drink, but I think everyone, especially in the comments, we should all get together and wish them a very, very happy anniversary for tomorrow. So
happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Have a great
Cheers.
day.
Hey. Happy anniversary. Cheers.
Good. Oh, because you paint water, good night, that'll do.
Congratulations.
I think he was taken aback somewhat.
Many congrats. Oh, brilliant.
That's the first thing we've been asked to do. And I think, that we could get Ken ordained and he could do weddings.
I am ordained already.
What?
I'm ordained. I generally am ordained.
Bullshit.
No, absolutely not. I'll send you proof if you want to see it.
Oh my god!
I don't know if I want to ask why or.
I am Brother Eldridge from I think it's the Church of Christ and Belite or something like that.
Did you just say Brother Eldridge?
Yeah, so I am.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm ordained, 100%.
Does that mean we can do marriages at CrackCon?
If it's on American soil, yes.
Why?
I am completely confused now.
Because I'm ordained in the States, so I can do it.
But who did you buy it? Did someone get it for you?
No. I did it in college.
Were you pissed?
No, sober.
If anyone wants to get married at CrackCon, we can sort that for you.
Yeah, I'm quite reasonable fee.
Anybody else
think
this whole stream has gone in a completely different direction to what I was expecting today?
Do you know what, Dom? I just had to make sure the lid was still on this super glue and I wasn't hallucinating.
I could smell the fumes coming from your MDF buildings. I think that was what was doing me in.
Damn it! I thought I told you, lot. I know. I thought I told you.
Why would you ever tell us that? Why would that ever come up?
Why would that come up?
Yeah,
we talk about models. I've never gone. Oh yeah, by the way.
I nearly got excluded for it because I signed up my whole public services class.
But did you walk into the wrong class or something? Did they make you sign forms?
No,
5 minutes later, you're ordained.
I don't know whether I should be more shocked the fact he did it, or more the fact that he wasn't pissed out of his head when he did it. I'm not quite sure which.
Yeah, but I signed up 30 other people at the same time, and it can't be undone. So
see, at least when Martin's pissed, he just buys figures.
Well, at least I'm on topic. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You're not just playing. Yeah,
is that real, Ken, or are you playing? No, legit. I'll find it. I will find it. Legit, 100%. I'm ordained.
Church for the boys. God,
the cleric of the God Emperor.
Well,
there you go. You learn something new every day, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll try and get one of the guys from Public Services to come on and tell them how I nearly got excluded from college.
I just don't really know what to say now.
I'm.
Can we restart this whole stream, because I just feel it's just gone off into a whole
I don't know what to say.
Remember before when I said thank you to everyone who's watching this on the replay? Can I amend that to I really apologise to people that are watching this on the replay
for whatever happens later?
This is rapidly going downhill. Let's try and compose oneself.
So Tasman says, can you shout out to my other half, Michael Hiscox, as he has just rushed into the room and put you on the main TV as he dies every week?
We're on TV!
We're on TV! We did
it! He said, he's the guy. He's the one. When we did the survey, somebody said that they put us on the TV. Yes.
Oh, do you know what? It's great. We're on TV and it's not Crime Watch.
Well, I don't know. The way things go on this show, it's entirely possible it's Crime Watch.
Man imposter priest. Logging stuff at Brigham by. So.
Shall I try and drag this stream back to a semblance of normality for a second?
You can try.
Does that make him literally a space marine?
I'm a chaplain, yeah. Ultramarine chaplain.
God.
I'm a brother. I must get this right. My official title is brother. Not priest, reverend, it's brother.
I'm with Matt on this one. Do you ever get the feeling that you aren't sure you're awake? Imagine I'll wake up soon, pour a coffee, and chuckle at the crazy dream I had about Brother Eldridge. Yeah, do you know what? We're all with you.
It does sound like a character from Cadfile, doesn't it?
Do you know what? This just gets better and better.
I'm stunned. Right, let's get back to figures and paints and not being ordained or sniffing MDF or other such tomfoolery, even though I have been sniffing MDF. I know last week, like I mentioned before, the weather was utterly nightmarish, and I salute anyone that managed to paint anything last week, because I painted bugger all. So, Martin, let's start with your good self. What did you get up to?
I painted bugger all for quite a while, and it was hot, and I don't know. By the time I got home from work, so I looked at the models and I thought, do you know what? No. But I did do some things, and I know I've shared them with you guys. So as people know, the stuff I stuck together last week is, as everyone else is working on the Wars of the Roses, I thought, well, I can't possibly let be. I need to do some more. So I started work on the Earl of Warwick's brother, John Neville, and I took my inspiration from this picture by Graham Turner, which is a great place to get some inspiration for any of the artwork. And he's got everything in them. It's just fantastic, including the fact that, look, he's a noble wielding a poleaxe. There's this big thing about them having swords, and it's like, no, give him the big thing that'll actually go through the armor. So I decided that I was going to try and paint that, basically try and mimic that model as much as I could, and paint that coat of arms. So after 2.5 hours, it was quite. I just enjoyed doing this. I really did. It was a lot of fun. So that's what I've come up with. There's John.
Very impressive.
Thank you. That's
John. I think I'm just going to throw my paintbrush down, because there's no point after that. Jesus Christ, Martin, that's superb.
It is brilliant. I will just point out though that you've used like a blue for like the hawks when it's a green on the picture.
Actually, I used Dark Reaper. So whatever this coloured Dark Reaper is kind of like
blue.
Is it blue? Yeah. Well. Anyway, I'll go through his side.
We've got live rivet counting.
So this is
brother Eldridge.
It's so fucking good, man. It's unreal.
Oh, I appreciate it. I got to that point though where I was like, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to walk away from this
because you could just ruin it with one stroke. That's
so,
the pain.
Martin, bit of a question then. See that get-up he's wearing?
Yeah.
Is that kind of a look at me, I'm special type thing?
Yeah, I mean, basically, each one of those parts of his coats of arms either represents an earldom or a family estate or something that he's married into. So that's, you can see like the Nevilles have got. I mean, his brothers, Warwick's is worse than that. Each of the quarters is divided into about 6 other images, which is why I thought I'd try him first. No, but that's John Neville. So he's Marquis of Montagu. He's Earl of Northumberland. Spoiler alert, Ken. He then becomes Marqueser of Montagu. He's I think he's he's like one of the Earls of Cornwall or something like that as well. He's also the only man that at the time was considered possibly able to go toe to toe with Edward IV in combat and possibly walk away. Probably still lose. It's just he might survive a little bit longer. But he gets a bit of a hard time in history because I think everyone thinks of him as just this kind of lackey of Warwick.
Yeah,
but he's not, because he won the Battle of Hexham against 3 Lancastrian commanders like on his own. He basically pursues them all after Towton. He kind of pursues them all into the north and spends the next 4 years hunting them down. And he's a bit more brutal than Edward was, because he's the one who basically, as soon as he captures them, he executes them. But that's because he's bent on revenge for the fact they executed his father, and the blood feud continues. So anyway, I'm
kind of getting the gist of that now with these books. He said it's just literally there's not even a yes. Oh, surrender. It's I surrender. Okay, you're dead.
Yeah, but no, he's he is basically a bit of a tough, but he's one with a big axe. So he's but what I also did is because he's got his own livery in that. What I've done is I thought I'd just show. He'll be on a command base, and I've stuck together a unit to go with him. And I thought I'd just show, because I've been doing quite a lot of the kit bashing, and as people are getting into this, and Steve, I know you're just about to start, and these two have, I just thought I'd show you some of the things I've done. So this guy here, I kind of got this guy indicating, so it's quite easy to do like so the right arm that's indicating is out of the Light Horseman set. The body is just a bill and bow set. The head I can't remember, is that what? Obviously I can't remember. The sword, then I've cut away the hilt of the sword and then stuck that around just like he's clasping it, so he can be showing something off.
Nice. Yeah.
This guy, that's a warlord British head.
I recognise that one. Yeah,
with the light horseman arms, carrying the arrow bag and the covered bow, which they would have done when they're on the march.
Whose livery is that? That looks familiar.
That's his. That's Marquis. That's Montagu's livery. So there you go. So here's another one. His is red and black with a yellow griffin on it.
Mine's red and black with a half moon, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing that confused the shit out of me, right? Because you're saying it's red and black with a half moon, right? The book I'm listening to at the minute says they're blue and yellow. The Percys.
Is that the Conigledon ones?
Yes.
Yeah,
got it wrong.
Well, no, because not all of them have the same livery. Different families have different colours. Because Warwick's brother is all red. So yeah, you have different ones within them, and they change them all the time. They just buy new liveries for themselves all the time. So it might be for a certain period. And then that's a standard bearer that I kit bashed out of the mercenary set, the light horseman set, and the bill and bow set. So there's so much versatility.
Cool, man.
But that's what I've been working on.
That is really nice, dude.
I thought the first one he was gesturing would be a good caption competition. Yeah. This way to the execution, sir.
Yes, this way to the tower, my lord. I believe you know the way. That's what I've been working on. So yeah, so more Wars of the Roses for me. I've got other things going on in the background, but I wanted to challenge myself with that coat of arms, and I'm quietly chuffed about how he's come out.
Painting that coat of arms in that weather was something that was just no words for it. It was very brave of you, very brave.
I spent months, weeks, and years. Not years. No, it's an exaggeration. I spent weeks investigating which lords I could have, precisely to avoid coats like that, because there's no way on God's earth I'm going to be able to paint something like that.
Martin, please tell me if I'm doing these Burgundian chaps, I won't be involved in insanity like that.
Not that bad, is it?
I'll find you a picture. Carry on.
Oh shit!
Their pavises are bad, aren't they?
Oh, no, it's like the thing. The guys on foot aren't bad, but of course you don't care about them. You just it's the guys in charge that you want to show off.
Am I going to be reaching for the toilet duck in about 5 minutes?
Probably. Carry on, but yeah. So that's no. But I like. That's why I like the medieval period. Is partially it is. I like, but also I've started. I don't know if I'm a bit sick or something, but like I've actually started like looking into what.
Sorry, did I say something there? No.
No, you were all nodding at the same time. You bunch
Okay, then Ken, brother Eldridge, what has thou been up to this week? Last week?
Not much. It's too hot to paint.
Exactly. Welcome
I managed to get a horsey done for my Northumberland stand. I've also got a guy. Stupid bloody thing. I've also got a guy here that I've kind of started here. He's just going to be one with a fishtail, but I am working on the Earl at the moment.
Yay.
Yellow, you madman.
Yellow and red. So mine's kind of like Martin's, but easier.
It's got,
I prefer your style, definitely.
Yeah, but I've still got to put pikes in it and all that jazz. But to be fair, I do really want to do a really hard one like you've done, mate, because I think they look class.
It's cool.
I really want to I want to do one with a horse that's got all like the stuff on it as well.
So, all the stuff on the side. The main thing that I found, and I'm not. I mean, I guess maybe this comes on to tonight's topic, so maybe I should save it till then. I guess I don't know. Shall I wait? I don't know.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah,
wait. I'll wait. All right. Remind me about livery later.
Right.
Yeah,
So that was your week's work, then, Ken. It was 3 more than I managed anyway. Right, prepare to be wowed.
Started painting the bears as well from Sean.
Oh, cool.
They were so cool. They're now mine are now living next to me on my desk. They're guarding my painting area. Excuse me. Okay, Dom. I know that the weather wouldn't have affected a speed merchant like yourself. How many thousand figures did you paint last week?
54,000 million billion.
Let's put it this way. I had to do a video to show them all. So, shall we just have a quick look? Excuse the shake can, but...
So last week on the podcast, I showed off this group. This is what I had done since coming back from my holiday with my I Blame Martin project, War of the Roses. So that was the pike. I keep saying pike. This was the bill and bow unit and an artillery piece that's part of Thomas Stanley's retinue. So I've expanded that a little bit. There's a unit of men-at-arms and another unit of bill and bow. And to lead them all as the main man, Mr. Stanley himself. I've done him on a rectangular base because I kind of want to just be able to add him in to a unit like that. But I didn't stop there. Oh no, I didn't. So then I thought I'd do one of his retainers. So this is Lord Strange, George Stanley. I think he's another brother. Another unit of bill and bow with his standard. So I've mixed in some of Thomas Stanley's retinue and then some of George Stanley's retinue in there. They're not going to win any prizes for heraldry, and I've done all these troops really dirty on very muddy bases. But I didn't stop there. So I also started work on William Stanley's retinue. So there's Bill and Bo and some men at arms, one of each, and there's William leading his group as well. But I didn't stop there. So I thought they need some mercenary support. So there is a group of Flemish pikemen all ready to go. That's what I've been painting this week, guys. An awful lot of pike, billmen and archers. And a couple of leader groups. What do you reckon, Martin? Have I justified blaming you? There's more to come. More to come.
Fuck off, Don.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is funny. Can I just say as well?
Did you do any work?
No, none at all.
I love the fact you've got the Battle of Chewsbury Graham Turner picture
Yes.
in the,
I was
behind
trying
it
to
as
do a
well.
really classy picture around it, but I couldn't get it.
No,
sorted.
it's,
I had no time.
I need to get one of those.
Stunning,
Don.
mate. Wicked.
Quick question: Are you actually human?
Yeah, I don't think he
Well,
is, man.
do you know what? I haven't done an awful lot of work, as you may have noticed this week, because between that, the rugby at the weekend and the Olympics starting this week, I don't know what to think. I don't know how I've done anything. But do you know what? I genuinely. So last week, someone said, "Oh, you're going to paint the army by the end of the weekend or something," and I thought, I'll do a couple of units. It'll be fun. But I genuinely have had so much fun doing it. It's been so much fun. They like you say, Martin. They go together so beautifully well. And as Steve said, they're really easy to paint, and I really enjoyed doing it.
You can kind of take them as far as you want. Like, it's very easy to get them to a level. Say if you a gaming level or a tabletop level, and then to just go that little bit further, it doesn't take a lot. They're very versatile models. Well,
obviously, I take them to the gaming level, and that's as far.
I think you've gone past that. No, they've gone past that.
Very, very
fantastic, mate. I can't wait to have. Plus, also, I found out at the Battle of Hexham, William Stanley was subordinate to this guy, so we can do Hexham, and he would be one of the sub commanders.
Fantastic. There you go. So yeah, I had so much fun doing them. I have to say, genuinely had, and I haven't had it for so long. Even though it was hot, I have not had kind of desperately want to get back to the painting table and do more. And literally every 2 minutes I was painting more figures. It was just ridiculous. So yeah, I probably burnt myself out a bit this week, but we'll see. I've got another 100 odd figures to paint, so that's fine.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
There you go.
So I actually did some things last week. No painting. So it's been a dead man's hand. It's the things I've been sniffing. So I did this, which is a wagon.
That's very neat. I like that.
From TT Combat.
Very cool.
And a doctor's surgery.
Oh, hey, I like that.
Can you go in there to get? Because you could go in there and roll to be healed, but so they just kill you. Instead you could just roll on the wound chart.
Put it down, Steve. Put it down. You hallucinate that somebody's a priest around here, otherwise.
No, that's a good idea, that Matt. I do like that. But okay then. I know people have said with MDF builds you got to seal them before you paint them. Mm-hmm. But I tried. I did a bit of a test thing on the bottom, and the paint was fine. It didn't.
I've never bothered.
Haven't you?
I've never bothered. I've always rattle canned them. And...
Do you know? I think Lee from what was his channel? I've forgotten Lee's channel. It's brilliant stuff. He does.
The Battle Bunker.
Battle Bunker. He talked about spraying them with hairspray, but I think he was taking the piss.
Yeah.
Because I tried that and didn't do anything.
No, somebody else, James from Welsh Wargaming. He said he said the same thing. He got rather than use his wife's expensive stuff, he got the cheap ass stuff from Poundland.
Yeah.
But
it does suck up the moisture, definitely, though, doesn't it?
Other people have said use diluted PVA. Just give it a quick spray with a PVA mix.
I did that on the La Haye something on one of the roofs, and it warped, and I never did it again.
Oh, really?
See, we're definitely.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I can't stop coughing. I do apologise for anyone that's constantly hearing me cough. So shake goes as well. So James, but I never bother sealing them. There's definitely, from what I've seen, because I've been doing a bit of research, there's definitely a sort of 50-50 mix of people that seal and people that just think, bugger it, let's just get down with the painting.
I think what I started to do was just using the Halford's white spray, the primer on it. But it does soak up still a lot, and that seemed to work. But I know a lot of people just go straight in with the paint.
Back to a bit of Wars of the Rogues, and this is a question I asked in the group chat the other night. So, is it 60 by 45? We've all gone for base size.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I went for in the end. Yeah,
the Perry's one, isn't it? It's just the Perry's standard.
It's the Perry's one, but also I know this sounds silly, but the instead of a 60 by 40, the added 5mm when you're trying to position archers on the base and put the arrows in the ground and stuff like that. It just gives you this little bit more room to be, do something a little bit more with the base, I find. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking shit.
I don't know. It just looks neat to me. It looks really good. I've said the one thing I've fallen in love with, I know you guys have used it for ages, is the old Vallejo mud.
Yes.
So oh, my goodness.
So
that's
good.
So much fun. Yeah. I've so enjoyed using that.
Do you know what I know something it's really cool for when you guys eventually get onto doing some cavalry? Flick it up to the hooves over the get them to, so those the bits on there where where the sprue hits, and normally you cut them away and then do them cover that so they're actually flicking the mud up as they go. And then in my video that's coming out next week on painting English Civil War cavalry, if you get the end of the paint, you've probably done so, if you jam it the end of a paintbrush in it and then put it behind them and then twizzle it, you'll get like hoof. You can get the hoof, the prints and the clods.
I like it.
That's the basing. The basins one. I think I'm looking forward to the basing more than I'm looking forward to painting the figures. To be fair, I've got so many good ideas.
Speaking of painting your figures, I have the answer to your question.
Oh God.
So bearing in mind that these are nobles, right? They're not. This isn't what everyone wears. So there's this one. That one's not. That's not too bad. You could kind of just do the white cross and some splotchy gold. There's the normal. There's one of the normal liveries.
Just put mud all up the front.
But this one is someone wearing the Royal Arms of Burgundy.
Oh, come on!
Have fun with that, mate.
I'd give that a go.
It looks like you're painting. Do you know what, Steve? It looks like you're painting an Imperial Knight from Warhammer.
I was thinking the same.
Just like that bit. Yeah.
Oh my! Cheers, Mark. Thanks for that. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to try and keep it as plain as possible, actually. But no, I am.
Go Fleming. They're not as bad.
Despite my hesitance the other week, I am genuinely looking forward to getting this started. It should be something interesting. But like I said, the 2 test figures did at the weekend. 15 minutes to paint 2 figures. I can't remember the last time it took me 15 minutes to put a figure together, never mind paint it. No, really looking forward to it.
I just say now, if any of you have any creator will need any pieces, like if has anyone got like an arm doing this, I sat down and actually, those sprues, I clipped them. So I have this little baggies that are like about this big, about 30.
I've got one of those, the Victrix plastic bags. Mine's half full of all the offcuts because I did the same. It's like, oh shit, that wasn't such a good idea. Because I'm now going to sort them out because it's like they're just everything's in there. But then you can do a lucky dip. You just go, let's go for a helmet.
That's a good idea.
I've got a painting question. Okay, so I've got my Earl here. He's got his yellow and he's got his red. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to put a wash over him.
Yeah.
Agrax or Seraphim Sepia? Bearing in mind, Seraphim Sepia is for like yellows and reds, but Agrax is brown. So what?
The only wash I put on that one I did was a 50-50 strong tone.
Really?
Yeah, and I did it before I painted. I did it at the stage you're at before I painted on the
deliveries.
The symbols. Well, what I did was I did that, and then I came back in and did a highlight of a lighter red and a lighter yellow. To then just pick out and then I painted the symbols. If I was going to pick out of those two you got there, I'd do Agrax probably.
I think the other one you could try, which I use a lot on ready coloured things, is that Ali's brown liquid, which is a sort of homebrew mixture of different washes, which works really well on reds and yellows. It's a mixture. It's a guy, I can't remember who pointed out to me, but it's 40%. Steve, give me your cough. 40% Agrax, 40% Serum Sepa, and 20% medium, with a dash of Nightshade, Dragonhof Nightshade, just literally. And you mix it all up, and it really works well. I do use it on all my British Napoleonics. It's a fabulous colour for that.
Very interesting. Am I the only one that adds? I add Lamy and medium to my washes sometimes.
Yeah, I do sometimes.
I've never used the stuff, but I do have other mediums, and I assume they're just the same from other companies. I assume it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty. What I like about it, it thickens. I suppose thickens is the wrong word, but it does. It's sort of, it's not as intense. So if I want a really light wash, I'll do like Agrax, throw in water, and then Lamy and medium, and just brush that over rather than absolutely obliterate it like I normally do my bolt action stuff. This is more painted on.
I could always add a bit of varnish.
I'm just going to tell Hayley you're a priest. Hayley, guess what? Ken's an ordained priest. Jesus. I think she just choked.
That could explain why Ken's dice are so good. Look, Lionheart's right. Just a thought. Does Brother Ken bless his dice before he battles?
Maybe.
That sounds like Brother Maynard and the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. At least one Monty Python reference for every show. I think it's warranted.
Best joke of the night. There you go. Marky Sparky. Ken didn't have time to paint. He had 3 weddings and 3 funerals and a wedding to do. I love it. Well done.
Well, all this painting chat leads us nicely into the theme of tonight's stream. So I'm going to do the introduction.
Do it.
Did I miss a message where, like, we said we were going to suddenly become more professional?
Yeah. Okay, hands up who's surprised that hasn't got that I didn't use any form of metal music on that intro.
I was quite surprised, I'm not going to lie.
I
think mine's disappointed.
Yeah.
I feel like that Steve's inviting you in to talk to him in his painting clinic, and then he'll hit you with the metal.
Yes.
Do you know what would cure your problem, sir? What's that? Metal! Ah!
Yeah.
Before we discuss the Agrax shade, may I introduce you to the delights of Cannibal Corpse?
Have you tried listening to? Have you tried painting to Rotting Christ?
Anyway, why have I come up with this for tonight? Well, after last week, my painting mojo is shot. I painted a bit at the weekend. I did some base coating, but I didn't go back. So I think I need a night of talking about painting to sort of get the inspirado going. Mm-hmm. So for everyone in the chat, if you've got any questions that you want to ask us or other people in chat, maybe you need a specific, I don't know, red for your British Napoleonics, or let's talk about
French.
Blue for your French, the ultramarines of Napoleonics.
There we go.
What was the other one I was going to say? Let's just talk about field grey. We could talk for the next hour and a half about field grey if you want. And its great uses.
Field grey, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Dom, do you want to issue a yellow card for that?
That is a yellow card.
We need an animation. Why haven't we got an animation yet?
We should have one. I don't care whether you've got God on your side, but you're still getting a yellow card. So.
He didn't say what God.
That's
true. Say what God? It's some God. No, well, yeah, God.
Some pagan.
Yeah, Ken, that's a yellow card with a Seraphim Sepia wash. So
can I just tell you? Sorry, this is sort of related, and Steve's going to appreciate this. I don't know. Iron Maiden dropped that new video, and in it Eddie kills it. Today, and I've shown it to my daughter, and we were talking to my daughter at a table, and for some reason we came on to God, and I said, and we said, "Oh, do you know what God is?" And she genuinely said, "God is Eddie, and he killed the devil." It's like, yes.
Oh
yes, Charles. I'm so getting called into the school.
Oh God!
Awesome. So to kick us off, then, Martin, liveries.
Right. Okay. So liveries. When you're as I've been sort of doing a lot of trial and error with these for the last 2 years, where the stage that Ken is at, or like I did with old John Neville here. Again, it's that idea that we're looking at them 3 foot away. So I'm just going to get the picture up. Obviously, he's got that stupid shit. You see in the middle, he's got another shield right in the middle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the thing is, he's on the model. He's crouched over, so you're not really going to see that. So I just did like a real rough shield design and didn't bother. But everything else is just, I try to do I break everything down into shapes. Like so the bird is just a line with 2 triangles either side of it. Yeah. And then you feather it out a little bit. The diamonds are just scored red lines, and you just try. So if you just break it down and actually think, do I actually need to bother painting a diamond? Do I need to really try and paint a line? When I've done lines, what I've done is I've like you've got to do, Ken. I paint an S, and then I do a thick sort of bit in the middle, and then I just do little flicks off of it for the arms and the legs, and that's all I do.
Makes sense, mate.
Because it's again about that thing being 3 foot away. Now, obviously, I spent a little bit longer on him, probably longer than I needed to. But yeah, I just say, just like if you're doing the delivery badges, like the Sun in Splendor that I've got for Edward, is I just do a white blob, come in, put another yellow circle in it, and then I just get a what do you call it, Ulf one grey, and then I just do 5 blobs around the outside for the petals, because it's just about the impression of what it is, not actually trying to mimic it. Because at this scale, it's 28. I mean, you can't below this. You stand no chance. Well, you might do. I know some people have done it, but
they're crazy people.
you can have a lot of fun with it, but again, just have a look, back. I mean, Ken, you're going to be mounting that guy on a horse, and he's going to be whizzing past. Like how, you don't kill yourself to try and do a lion's mouth. Just get that sort of rough shape of a lion, and then pick it. I mean, what you can use if people want to. I haven't used this for a while, but if you get like a proper fine liner, you can try doing it. But I found the problem is that once you start layering the paint, so the stage that Ken is at, you scratch into it, and it buggers up the work you've done already. And also, if you need to seal it after every time you use a pen, because the ink doesn't dry properly, and when you paint over it, it smears.
Yeah.
So that's what I've always said about just an impression. It's like camouflage for bolt action. As long as it's a rough approximation from 3 feet away, I'm happy with that. I don't want to drive myself a bit funny by doing, completely accurate 1-to-1 scale camouflage.
No, but what we're painting is a representation of an army. We're not doing 1-to-1 on an army, and you're not going one. I mean, I suppose in bolt action is more scale wise. You've got closer to the number of men that are in a platoon and things, but again, it's just what is reasonable to really. Well, that's how I look at it anyway, and it's done all right so far. Someone did ask me very quickly, who said about John DeVere for Barnet and how light should you do the orange. I have, again, but like it's completely up to you. But I have a thing against really, really bright models on a tabletop where they've been traveling on the road. It's muddy, dusty. You could paint him as bright as in there, but I'd always tone it down a bit with some Agrax or some dark tone or something like that, just to represent the build up of muck and dirt. I do that for pretty much all my models, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree. You want to make them. I'd prefer them to look like they've been in action somewhere rather than anything else. I just think, I do admire people who do those wonderful parade quality figures. But then, same token, it's like, I couldn't do it that well, so I can hide all the mishaps with making them look a bit scraggy and dirty, and that works really well. I think it looks good from a distance.
That mud is good for that. If I ever make a mistake, that mud goes up the leg.
That's the beauty of it, though, isn't it? If you're slapping it on and you get it up the figure leg, it's like, it's just trodden in a muddy puddle. That's all fine.
All on the underside of the horse. I hate painting the undersides of horses, so I just flick loads of that mud underneath them.
I did also find the Vallejo liquid water thing, or the water stuff. And so I'm making little puddles in it as well.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at stuff like that. I think I'm going to be using Vallejo mud. Vallejo water, and also those weathering pigments to make them give them a bit of dust as well.
Good idea. Rich had a question here. What's the best wash for plate mail as he's painting up 100 years war English armor?
No oil in my opinion.
Yeah, non-oil.
You're going to be controversial.
I mix what I wash them with. I mix them up so you get different tones of armor.
Yeah,
because not all armor is the same. You have the really expensive. So I'm not just trying to show off loads of pictures of him. I promise. But so him, that is a chrome color, and that's Space Wolves grey contrast over a chrome.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then I've gone back in and edge highlighted it. Whereas, like this guy here, that is lead belcher with strong tone.
Oh yeah, shit. You wouldn't notice unless you point out. Yeah.
But I would say, I mean, null oil, it does pretty much the same thing as strong tone, to be fair. If you want, I always think that the leaders might have, it can afford that better armor. So I use a lighter base silver, and then I use Space Wolves grey and Brazil Canyon grey.
So have you got a rule then? So if you've got 3 classes, you've got nobleman, you've got, say, minor lord / man at arms. And then you've got, archer / peasant man. He's picked up bits on the floor. What colours would you use for your washes on those then?
For the lowest, I would use the strong tone because it's a bit bright. It's got a bit more brown in it. It's a little bit dirtier looking. Then I'd go up one. I'd use either null oil or Basilicanium grey. And then for the higher one, I'd use Space Wolves grey, but I would adjust the base silver to a lighter silver. And of course, if you want to do the burnished armor, Gore Grunter Fur is amazing. It gives you that really nice copper kind of looking armor. I'm not trying to plug it. I did a video ages ago. I did a video. It's one, and of course you get the blackened armor as well. That German armor, like Edward wore black armor in some battles, and Black Templar over a very light silver. Yeah,
a bit like the Orcs, isn't it?
Yeah,
like the Uruk-hai.
Yeah, I did 2 coats of Black Templar, and then dry brushed a tiny bit of the base color onto the edges for the scratches.
I do like that armor look. It does look really smart.
There was also I'm trying to think of the name of it now, and I can't find it. I was trying to find it. There's a new contrast paint wash, or not contrast paint, a new Citadel wash that's especially for armor, makes it look sort of a bit rusty and muddy.
It's not Typhus corrosion or something.
No,
is it?
I'm trying to find it. It's only, I think it was only out earlier this year, and I bought a bottle of it. It actually is pretty good. If you just do really silvery armor, and then just put it on, it just makes the armor look like it's been through the wars, which I kind of like. I'll try and find it before the stream's out.
Well, here's an interesting one for moving forward in history to World War II. I have a question from Yorkshire Lagoon. Dunkle Gel, discuss. Oh.
That's a hard one. I didn't know what that color was once, and then I googled it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this could be a bit of a minefield." Yeah.
If I'm painting anything in Dunkle Gel, my base is always Vallejo green ochre. It just once you've had a lot of washes and weathering and mud and all the crap to it, it's brought right down. But I know people that use darker. Some people use like khaki as a base for Dunkle Gel, or some people have even used something lighter like Middlestone. It's a bit too yellowy for me. Don, what have you used on your? I know you've done some late war Germans.
I think from what I remember, Steve, I had a spray can of Army Painter Dunkle Gel, and I just literally blasted it with that. That was it.
That'll do the trick.
Nothing more complicated than that. I couldn't, but I remember a bit like, you say it's opening a bit of a minefield, because I thought, oh, Dunkle Gel, it's whatever, it comes out, and then you start looking into it, and it's like, it must be
very
about
annoyed people. If you
there must
get it
be
wrong.
millions of different versions of it, or people say it's this version of it, and it's like, I don't know. It just came over
grey
and
all
I
over again,
sprayed
isn't it?
it and I washed it, and that'll do.
Yeah, there's that picture of all those German tunics that if you post, I made the mistake once of posting that on the Bolt Action Facebook group. Whoa! I had to delete it after about 63 seconds because I took some serious flack.
I haven't looked at that group very often. The last time I looked at it is when you told us to go check out that thing about the indirect fire.
That was the world's funniest thing.
I didn't know whether he was trolling at first. I thought he was actually taking a slash, but no, he was adamant that he was right. And
it took Warlord Games intervening,
to basically do a rules check and a physics check that you can't fire tank shells 600 yards through.
Sorry, I've sent that off topic. Sorry,
and people about. Oh, there, Stephen's right. It was that one. Cryptide Armor Shade. That's the one. That's the one I was trying to remember of. So I actually tried it out. It worked really nicely. Gives it sort of weathered, worn armor look. Got
another World War II one here from Benjamin. Ideas for late war German armor colours that are not using Dunkle Gel as a base. Tricky.
Use the Luftwaffe division or something, or something doesn't use it.
So the good thing about late war though is you can pretty much do what you want.
Oh, yeah, that's why I love painting late war Germans. You don't need to stick to a scheme for tunics and breeches. You just use greens, browns, greys. You just lump them all together. But I did late war German armor colours that are not using Dunkle Gel as a base. Well, Dunkle Gel became sort of the primary color. It was I think it was early 43. It was 1943 anyway. Onwards, when that was the primary color that the tanks would leave the factories in. They've sprayed Dunkle Gel. I suppose you could do if any fighting vehicles had survived from sort of the early campaigns, I suppose you could do it grey. If it's a street fighting army as well, I mean, each crew probably applied their. I mean, if you've seen the pictures of the crew applying camouflage, I mean, some of them use spray guns, some of them just got a rag on a stick, and they're just literally just covering it in all kinds. So I think I suppose it's just basically whatever you think feels right. I mean, as long as you don't paint like electric pink or day glow orange or something. I think it's down to what you feel looks right and feels right. And most of all, that you like painting. There's nothing worse than choosing a scheme that after 2 days you think, yeah, I hate painting this. Like me with French Napoleonics.
So I remember reading one of those exchanges. I think it was on one of the Napoleonic Facebook pages where people were moaning about somebody having the wrong shade of blue on their uniform, and somebody pointed out quite rightly, and I think it's a good lesson for all periods, is that French uniforms in Napoleonic Wars would have been manufactured by cottage industries virtually in a multitude of different towns using a multitude of different materials. The chances of them all looking absolutely identical is zero. So why are we all so hung up about it? And I think that's a really good rule of thumb.
I think that's for any period.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, if you're campaigning, your uniform, your clothes, where you haven't got a dry cleaner or a laundrette or an iron, 2-3 weeks in, you're going to look like crap, basically. I've got good examples. If you see any of the German or British armies in North Africa, when they turn up in pristine tropical uniforms, 2 or 3 weeks in the Western Desert with those heats and the elements, they're all bleached.
Is that brother
That's Brother Eldridge.
You got you about to do something with an airbrush.
I thought he was performing it. I thought he was performing an exorcism.
I'm so relieved it's just that rather than.
Oh, it's an agitator, yeah.
It's an agitator. Jesus Christ. You had us all worried there, Ken. Really worried. Again.
There's an interesting one from James. Yeah, I priority late war German vehicles in red brown. And Vallejo do a specific colour. It's called red brown. But it's a really good paint. I think it comes in the it's one of the Panzer sets. I don't know if it's the one with all the good rusting things in there as well, but it's a cracking paint. It really is.
Actually, Colour 75 do a similar one. It's really good. Really.
I think they do it in the German. Is it Rutbrun or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm going to try it, Martin.
Space
Grey. Is it quite thin? Or do you...
not especially. Just don't let it pull. Don't let it pull too much.
Okay, cool.
You can always go back and do a second coat, or that's what the guy says, isn't it?
Let's give it a go.
Reenactor at Waterloo looks down his French uniform, made in China. This ain't right.
It is. We've talked about this many times, and I guess those conversations that goes on all over the place in wargaming. But it's like, everyone gets so hung up about doing these pristine. It's like I've just finished reading a book about 95th in the Peninsular War, and then the descriptions of their uniforms once they'd been on a campaign for a year. I mean, just if they had any uniform left, they were doing well. It was just patched materials, whatever they could get their hands on. More patched than actual material, original stuff. I mean, it's just, but we sort of get very carried away about having them absolutely pristine and beautiful. I suppose that's part of the attraction, though, isn't it?
I think that's one. If people ask me about painting ball tacks, and I always say, don't get hung up on 100% accuracy, because I don't. I mean, Ken, what when you were painting your airborne, what base color did you use for the uniforms?
US dark green, I think.
So I used Vallejo Field Drab. So I mean,
yeah, I think it was US. Yeah, it was Vallejo. It's Vallejo US dark green or something like that.
There are no Warlords. So when they first released them, I think you said you had to buy two paints and mix them together to get that the sort of the D-Day color.
Yeah.
I'd rather not mix my paints to get one color. I think I'd just rather one paint and give it a good old drowning of the Agrax. It's probably the best way to go about it.
Please don't make me laugh, because I've just literally nearly went all over my livery then.
Oh yeah, that's the bad thing about doing livery as well, is the best way to do it is to do it first and then and hold your breath as you do the rest.
Yeah.
Here's one from Louis. He loves painting ACW Confederates because of the riots of colours. You can use anything goes. Absolutely true. When I painted my my 10mm ACW, there was blues, greys, greens, browns, just all the way through it. Louis, have you got any tips for painting Prussian Landwehr? Get them in the chat, mate.
So at least we know where that one dislike is going to come from.
Yeah, I jest. No, to be fair though, I mean, I'm glad that he persevered, he finished, because I think most people, if they'd have been that bored, would have given up. No, fair play to Louis for persevering and getting them done. And they were really good as well. They were really nice looking.
Yeah, it's just the Warlord ones, though, isn't it? That he has the unbridled.
He hates the Warlord ones. And I think it's more because of the lack of variety in pose, more than actually the whatever else.
They're the ones that are just kind of stood there.
Yeah, that's it. You get a variety of heads and a couple of them without shoes on, and that's about it really in the variety.
Louis just offered some really, really clinical information on how to paint Prussian Landwehr. You put them in a bowl and pop them in the microwave for 20 minutes.
I love it.
Oh, nice one, Louis.
At least you're not bitter, Louis. That's all I'm going to say. At least
he doesn't get the anger that I get when I talk about French drummers. Because I think I'd go the same way. I'd just stick them in the microwave as well, because there's no need for anyone to be dressed like that ever.
I think the thing, the other one I quite like doing for that sort of bit like the ACW stuff is, as you said before, late war Germans or any kind of late war or winter war troops. It's so much easier because you just do a ragtag kind of assortment of colours and jackets, and that makes it so much easier to paint.
Just a quick point. We did mention Jim earlier in the stream, wishing him a very happy wedding anniversary. I believe it's tomorrow, or maybe today, tomorrow.
No, it is. It's tomorrow.
Remember, the Plastic Crack podcast is proudly sponsored by Reaper Games.
I thought you just called us the Plastic Prat.
I think it is.
I just said
podcast.
I said that the other week as well when it was just us two. I must be getting a complex. But the link to Jim's website is there. He does an absolutely fantastic range of miniatures, and if he does, specializes in Perry and Warlord plastics. If it's not on his site, drop him a bell, and he will do the necessary to try and procure them for you. He also does some really, really good variety boxes. So if you need anything bolt action or English Civil War, Napoleonics, even Napoleonic French drummers, I imagine he can get you a couple of those. But I don't know why you'd want French drummers, but there we go. But if you hang around to the end of the stream, we'll be releasing a code which will get you a rather nice. It's 10%, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, on top of his 20%. On top of his 20%.
On top of his staggeringly good and very generous 20% off. Anyway, so 30% off all your plastic crack requirements.
You're just going to have to because I think the Perry's warehouse was slightly shocked by the number of orders that came in. So if you do order, he's just waiting for the Perry suit to catch up. I believe he said there was something like, was it 67 individual boxes in the first week? I think
there's something like that, yeah. And only half of those were mine. So it's,
Yeah. I mean, but that's it. I mean, just bear with him while we wait for all the goodies to turn up from the Perrys.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't have it all in stock. But what do you expect with 30% off?
No, I think 30% off. Even as nerdy gamers, we can wait a couple of weeks for our plastic to arrive. But fantastic service offered by Jim, and he had some very, very nice testimonials this week on the Facebook group as well. Praising his overall service, and I would highly recommend Reaper Games and Jim. Absolutely fantastic.
Jim is are we going to do it now or should we do it later?
No,
let's do it now.
So those people who are watching, I think it was last week or the week before, Jim has got a copy of the Terrain Essentials book by Mel, the terrain tutor, which he said he was going to give away to one person who has ordered from him in the last few weeks since he's been sponsoring the cast. And he sent us a little video because he's done the draw. So, where is it?
It's the last thing in under.
Oh, it's in the video section.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. So.
Okay, you guys, so this is the draw for the book by the Terrain Tutor. There's the list of names there. So we're just going to click spin. So this includes everyone that's purchased and any back orders as well, because obviously with the Perrys and whatnot. And there we go. So that is Kevin. So I will. I'll send him an email tomorrow after the podcast and everything. But yeah, there we go. Cool. Looking forward to the stream. Bye, guys.
Well done, Kevin.
Well
done, congratulations, Kevin. That's it. Round of applause for Kevin.
There we go. There we go.
So close. Yeah, so far.
That is that's Kevin Mitchell. Just in case there's two Kevins watching.
Oh yeah, good point.
That's Kevin Mitchell.
There's 15 Kevins in the audience. Go, hey, I want to book. Hey.
Jim, here's a question from James. If you pop something in the comments, what's the best way to order with a discount code if something's out of stock?
I think he sends a direct invoice to you.
Yeah, I think
if I remember rightly.
A PayPal invoice, yeah.
A PayPal invoice, and he applies the discount for you already.
See, excellent service.
There we go.
So let's see if we've got any more questions. I know that there's what was that?
Obviously, tell him you're from the Plastic Crack podcast and you want to use the discount code.
Good off Mezza. The Plastic Prat podcast is sponsored by Toilet Duck. I know we've got the Plastic Priest podcast.
The PPP. Oh dear.
That sounds like something off Father Ted.
Oh, God.
Someone mentioned that earlier. This is an episode about Father Ken instead of
Father Ken. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry. I thought I told you lot before. To be fair,
it's not something that's ever come up in conversation, really, Ken. It's not like I've painted some Germans this week. I've done some Wars of Roses. What have you done? Oh, I've baptized someone. It's not really like.
I will admit, I was slightly taken aback by that revelation, Ken.
Me too. The Revelations chapter, Ken.
Revelation.
Okay, then.
Chapter 2, verse 2.
The challenge, though. I want to see the best meme that someone can put together.
Oh, don't! Someone
Next
already
week.
Laura pissed herself the other week. Last at the end of the podcast, I saw a gif of me, didn't I? Someone put a picture of that thing where you sit there, the sun's out,
Yeah.
I hate Vikings or something. Changed my mind.
Dearie me. Okay, then let's talk about something that I struggle with painting wise, and that's flesh. In fact, I mentioned this a comment on one of my videos. It's a painting skill I've lost. 10, 15 years ago, I could actually paint some really, really good faces on like Space Marines and stuff. But I just seem to have. I don't know whether it's like I play guitar and I can only keep so many songs in my head. And as I learn a new one, something else is pushed out. And I think, I don't know whether, I mean, have you ever lost a skill when it comes to painting?
Yeah. Airbrushing, if you don't do it very often.
It's a
bit
don't
of a
like
pain in the ass. You haven't airbrushed in ages, have you, Martin?
No, my airbrush broke. I did think about it the other day because I was looking at something I can't remember, and I thought, I should get an airbrush for it. And then what the hell was it? I'm just looking around. I just don't think airbrushing for me on historicals was. I can't remember what it was. I'm looking around now, like because there's something fantasy or something that I was gonna think of doing.
Kings of War or your MDF building?
It might have been. Oh, it was. I was looking at those Kings of War giants and all of the flesh on there. I thought would be easier to airbrush.
Yes.
That was that was something. But yeah, I haven't used my airbrush. Well, it broke like just after the stream last year. I haven't replaced it.
I've got two. But have you ever seen that episode of Alan Partridge where he disassembles his Corby trouser press? I did that to my two airbrushes, and I just can't be arsed putting them back together. To be fair, though, I did get them really, really cheap ass ones, so I've got no one to blame but myself. They were a bit crap.
You didn't try and put the bits back together again from mixing the two up or something, did you?
Yeah, what I told myself was that I was reconstructing a lightsaber. It kind of made it easier, but at the end of the day, it was just a cheap, crappy airbrush.
I've never used an airbrush. Never ever used one, and I don't know why. I do know why because I'm a bit scared of using it, really. But
mine has the exquisite skill that it makes me swear non-stop for about 10 minutes when I use it. Okay, here's a question from Harpham. Any advice for painting buff coats? He's thinking of doing some ECW cavalry in the near future.
That's handy. I've got a video coming out next week on how to paint ECW cavalry. Or how I paint them, rather.
I found Iraqi sand with a wash over the top was a really good buff colour.
I used Nasdrag yellow to contrast. And then I put strong tone, 50-50 with medium over it. And then I did a really, really light dry brush. And he's going to say with deck tan, but it wasn't deck tan. It was Ushabti Bone. Then it was deck tan.
There was another massive revelation coming there that Martin didn't use deck tan for a minute, but no.
I have no reason to not use it. I look at my models and if I haven't done it, I go, they just don't look dusty enough. No. So I have to go and get it. But no, and I never
got that far.
Richard Bloody Miniatures, he put some pictures up of some of the models he painted, and someone asked him how he did the buff coats over on the Bloody Miniatures page. And it was just literally a really quick 2-step process. I think it was amazing. So I was like, I'm going to nick that. that's...
Well, I hope that answered your question there, Harpham. Again, Martin has got a video coming out soon on painting ECW, so be sure you check that one out.
Cool, that does actually a pretty good, Martin. I'll give you that.
It just makes him stand out a little bit more. Like his armor's been polished before the battle, because he'd have had a squire or something having to like clean all his armor and his kit for him.
Yeah.
Although
I might dry brush over a bit with plate metal as well.
Yeah. Do the edge, do some of the edges and put some grime on it, but it gives it a little bit of it looks more like the more expensive stuff, like it's been looked after. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Apparently, me putting my airbrush together is like Tuco from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, putting his pistol together. I won't be doing. I imagine mine took an awful lot longer to put together, and I swore a lot more than Tuco as well. So, but I know we've got quite a few Western fans in the chat as well. So
I love that film.
I watched I watched High Plains Drifter. I watched that on Friday night. Fantastic film.
That's a mental film. If you actually like he's like, there's no one good in that entire film.
No, like he is an awful, terrible person in that film. He's just not. But everyone is like is worse than him though. There's nobody likable in that entire film. But it was a rather good film. There we go. So Lionheart said a 50-50 mix of army painted desert yellow and skeleton bone works well as buff coats for him.
There we go. Yeah. I do like Iraqi sand.
And army painted desert yellow and GW skeleton horde over the top as a wash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that working really well.
We've got another Wars of the Roses question. Do you chaps know of any artwork of the coat of arms on the armor of the Bonneville family? He's got the coat of arms, but no idea how he'd paint the Baron's tunic.
Now we might have an expert on that very topic.
Wait. So you do you know to any art for the coat of arms?
He's got the coat of arms, doesn't he?
I have no. So Bonneville would wear his coat of arms. He wouldn't wear his livery colours. He would wear a tabard with his coat of arms on it. So whatever's on his flag, like Ken's doing at the minute, would be what's copied onto his coat of arms. If you mean his what's his badge or that, then it is. Let me have a look. I've got my. If it's not in here, I'll have it. Carry on. I'll find it. Is it Bonneville? Yeah.
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 Here's an interesting one, and something that I used to do from Jim. Do you guys paint? Do you guys ever paint heads separately? I used to put heads on cocktail sticks and paint them separately before putting them on the bodies. Then I realised that I could cut my painting down by about 6 hours by not doing that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. Anything that speeds the process up, unless it is a complete ball ache, paints together.
Yeah, I used to paint on the sprue. Ugh. And
yeah, I saw was it the Tim, the Napoleonic Wargamer? He does it that way, and it's like, oh my god, how much hard work is that?
I couldn't do that.
I used to, and I realised that I was getting nothing done. And I started sticking them together, and then I just be able to start painting really fast. When I used to paint Space Marines, I used to paint the heads separately. So I'd paint glue the body together and paint that. But yeah, I used to mount them on like metal rods. I used to heat up a metal rod and then put the plastic head onto it and paint them on a piece of cork. That was very, very time consuming.
That sounds like something from one of Martin's books about the sort of cruelty inflicted on people. No wonder your troops didn't fight well for you. Jesus, you've impaled their heads on a spike. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't be asked with all that. I mean, I'd end up only doing half an army in a week. That's no frigging good.
That's what I was. When I first changed my painting style, it would be about 3 years ago now. When I did my US Marines for bolt action, and I painted 1,300 points in 3 weeks, just by changing the way that I painted. Yeah. And that's what I that's the technique I've used ever since. And I had slowed down recently because of the amount of kit bashing and converting that I'm doing. That's really slowing down my projects. But painting wise, no, that's what I used to do, but not anymore. Here's an interesting question from Matt. Out of interest, how long do people spend on test schemes for a new project? Sometimes I find myself spending far too long.
Well, this won't surprise anybody. I don't spend any time. I just go balls in.
Sorry, I can't see this. I'm currently looking through my files on the computer to see if I can answer this question. All I can hear is Dom talking about the balls in.
You heard it here, folks. Dom goes balls in on his projects.
I don't want to fiddle faddle around. It's straight in. Bosh.
To be fair, Dom, are you trying to get my channel kicked off YouTube, mate?
I don't know what you mean, mate. What are you talking about?
It's really where I don't actually do. I think we've killed Ken. He's having some kind of attack right there.
It's probably God sending a message to him.
Oh, good job! I was muting the things I was saying. Jesus Christ! There's things about balls deep and things like that. There's dodgy stuff, mate. You got to be very careful.
Yeah. Now I don't. What I'll do is I'll choose my colours and then just hope it works. I don't really do test figures. In fact, these two Wars of the Roses ones, these are just test figures to get the scheme down. But I don't normally. Ken, do you do test schemes?
Nah, not really. I find it's a waste of painting time. You normally get a rough idea, and if you don't like it, you can always paint over it. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, I think in all seriousness, that's exactly my view. Is if it doesn't look good, then just start again.
Yeah.
Interestingly, okay, what's the name a project you've worked on where you started painting the first couple of figures and thought, yeah, bugger that, these look terrible?
The elves that I was doing for that saga challenge, I'm just not happy with them, so I've parked them for a bit. I'm going to go back at them another time because they're such lovely figures. I just don't want to ruin them, but I'm just not happy with the way they're coming out. So.
My British bolt action, when I first started them, I used too dark of a khaki colour.
My Wild West Exodus gribbly tainted things. I did them too greeny zombie and I hated them. I come back and then sort of did it as like a real pale white flesh.
I can't think of it. I think mine would be when I first started doing the 501st SS Parachute Battalion. I was using a mixture of SS and Fallsmere uniforms, and I painted the first 5, and I thought, yeah, these are really, really crap. And they were on the shelf of abandoned projects for a couple of years. And I repainted them, and they look a bit better now. But they were shockingly bad, really, really bad. I didn't put any thought or effort. And has Evil Knievel just flown by someone's window there?
I think they have. Yeah, I hope they crash.
Here's a question you can spray and pray. One from Imaginary Conflicts, if I can find these.
Oh, sorry, I just jumped you up, haven't I?
That's all right. So, where do you chaps buy your Wars of the Roses flags?
Well, we've got them all now, haven't we?
Hang on a minute. I'm coming back to the screen. I'm getting frustrated because I can't find the answer to that question. I know I've got it somewhere. It's just well, we got Freezy Water, which has an extensive catalogue of flags. They're not. Sometimes they can be. I think some of them have been shown to be not entirely accurate now. In fact, I know one of them isn't because I was looking at it and it's the wrong way around. And even I was like, oh dear. And then now that just annoys me because I can see it. The lions are back to front. So that's just on the coat of arms of England, on the English kings. I was like, that's going to really irritate me. So Freezy Water flags, the cutout, the inserts that come with the Perrys. We've worked out now, guys, haven't we? There's multiples.
Yeah, they
Yes,
come in.
there are.
There is
There isn't
multiples.
just one set.
Yeah. So just copy those onto some decent paper. Pete's Flags on eBay. He sells through eBay. He makes some really good ones, but he has a very, very limited range. And then there's the other ones. There is someone else. I can't think who.
The other thing to do is just if you watch out for copyright issues, you can just create your own using transfer papers or what have you, or just print them out really on high quality paper. So
Totally. Oh, there's
Don't distribute it.
As long as you don't sell them or pass them around, it's fine.
Dom, isn't this something you came up against when you're painting your elves, wasn't it? So Osmosie's sometimes he finds the hardest thing about painting fantasy is actually working out the paint scheme as opposed to having historicals where you've got a base to work from.
That's exactly the problem I found, Ozzy. I'm just not used to it. Even within even these Wars of the Roses stuff, I know roughly what they're going to look like, but just something purely fantasy. And someone said, well, you should just go and look up a fantasy website of some painted elves and follow that scheme. And I should, but I don't know. It's just something about it. It just doesn't click with me. And I've had it on multiple occasions with fantasy armies. I mean, things like orcs and things are really easy because they're just green and dirty. So that's pretty simple to do. But yeah, the elves, I found it really, really hard.
Is that because there's not like an historical starting point or reference to work from?
Exactly that, Steve. It's like even doing, a medieval warrior that's fairly simple, exactly what it should look like in some form or another. And it's like, I just look at these models. And because I'm not really from a fantasy background, I just find it really hard. So no, that's why it got parked, because I started it. I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I painted about 3 or 4 of them. And I thought, no, it's not what it wasn't in my mind how I wanted them to be.
Imaginary conflicts, mate. I feel your pain. 3 weeks ago, I was taking a bit of a kicking from Ken and Martin about Wars of the Roses, but now I'm now involved, so I can certainly I can certainly empathise with you there, buddy. I really can.
Have we convinced someone else to do it?
Yeah, Imaginary Conflicts is desperately trying not to get into Wars of the Roses. The thing is, though, I'll be honest, I was a bit hesitant, but once you do a bit of research,
30% off as well.
30% off. That was a big incentive. But no, once you start reading history or watching documentaries, it's fascinating. It really is fascinating.
Period, isn't it?
Pretty violent.
Yes.
But yeah, it's I mean, I've not started proper yet, but I'm really looking forward. It's why I really want to get this bolt action project finished, so I can really throw myself into 2 or 3 weeks of just a bit of a medieval kit bashing, and that's not a euphemism. That really is a bit of medieval kit bashing.
Flags of War was the other one you're looking for, Martin.
That's
I think.
it.
Yeah.
He's trying to find this thing. It's really annoying him.
Mm-hmm.
So Flags of War, what are they? They self.
Do they do it?
Yeah, I think they do some.
They might do some. And then Little Big Men Studios do a few as well, but like 5, like 5 flags.
You'll find a lot of those are just like the king, and that's it.
It's Towton basically. They just do Towton, which is what the other company did, because that's what I initially started. And when you want to expand, it's like, oh, there's not that many.
Actually, Steve's got a good point. He says, for fantasy, find a historic colour scheme you like and move across it. That's what Ken did with his Ultramarines. It's true, mate. Yeah, that's true. I should think about that. Yeah.
Travis, if you can... So he's never had a skill to paint flesh, but he's found a way to fake it. Please enlighten us, because I hate painting flesh. So if you can... if you've got any hints or tips about painting flesh quickly, with very little skill, I'm all ears.
I would never claim to be any kind of high quality painter like the rest of you, but what I would say is I found a really simple way with my color flesh, which I really find easy and quick to do, and that's just on the base color, which is usually grey, light grey. I use a pale flesh, watered down as a base color over the top, and then I use what's the contrast paint? Gulliman's Flesh, and I've washed that over the top of it. And the color actually, if you don't put too much on it, and you make sure you draw it down the face, that is actually quite effective, I think. Certainly from 3 foot away, it works for me.
I do that, and then I use. I'm actually doing it right. Well, I was looking this up. I use then a mid-tone flesh to highlight, and then I go one more and do the chin and the tops of the eyes with a really light.
I just do the highlight bit, but yeah, exactly right. It works really nicely.
I really do need to pick up some contrast paints. I've never used them.
You're off your head. How have you never used them?
It's so because good. I don't know. I mean, I know Culloden's just done a video. I've yet to watch it yet, where he's used contrast over browns and khakis.
Yeah.
Because I always, whenever I've watched any whenever I've watched any videos, it always says really light undercoats, and I don't like really light undercoats.
Great. What he's done, he's used some of those Halford's camo sprays.
Right.
And actually, that's what interests me, because he did a video showing the different color schemes, because there's 3 you can get from Halford's, different colors, and he worked out which one works well. So that medieval video, he's using, I think it's the light brown one, I can't remember, but it actually does work really nicely. And then he's used zenithal highlights and all sorts of things, and then used mainly contrast paints, and the effect is really simple. Looks really good, and is very quick to paint. I was really impressed with it. It's well worth looking if you.
I'm not going to lie. Do you know there's moments where you look at yourself and you think, "Fuck, I've got really good at painting," and there's just something about this. I'm looking at this guy now, and I'm thinking, I'm actually really not that bad to where I was when I started.
That's the sign that you also are getting close to the point where you shouldn't do any more on it. Because you'll
No, I've done like see if I can try and focus it a little bit. I've got like you probably can't see it very well on the camera, but the colors are just blending perfect.
That yellow looks absolutely top notch. It's what wash did you go for in the end with that?
I did a little mix actually. I did 80% Agrax with 20% Seraphim Sepia.
Yeah.
And then I've highlighted up with actually Games Workshop colours, to be fair, Flash Kitsch yellow and Uriel yellow. So yeah, I've just used 3. And the same with the red. I've used 3 different reds.
Nice.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well. But now I've got the fun part.
Here's a question on painting. Why is it whenever you do, if anybody else does production line painting like me, so I've been painting horses away merrily, and then I turn around and do the back of that one. You can see I've done half a horse. For fuck's sake! I mean, I'm doing one after another. They're all in line.
And I've done half a horse. You missed one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was really embarrassing. I did a painting video on my channel the other week about painting US Airborne. Did the first stage, and when I got to the second, bugger, I've not painted the entrenching tool handle or the wooden parts on the it was
it's a bit of a bugger.
I was like, it's an interesting one from GP. On a scale of 0 to 10, how often do you long-term park or outright abandon projects? More fun stuff sneaks into your basket,
and eventually,
how many eventually never take off again?
Yeah, it's quite crazy, and it happens all the time, really. I've got 3 projects on the go at the minute. I'm still selling the ECW army. If anyone wants
have you not flogged those yet?
No, I can't be bothered to put it on there yet. But there is a hell of a lot there, so it's a bargain price. So if anyone's interested and wants some ECW, please get in contact. Sorry, I turned that into a sales pitch.
Welcome to the PCP bring and buy sale. Just okay.
I never park anything, I have to say. I park things, but I never give up on them.
It's weird. I painted, it'll be January last year, before all the madness descended. I started that Desert SAS Raider Force.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got to go back and add some vehicles to that. And this has been completely inspired by those ones that Sean did, because as soon as I saw them, I was like, I need to have a go. The Chevy trucks and the LRDG.
Yeah,
it just looks so good. So I've been looking at the Rubicon ones, because they do some nice ones. But I was thinking, because I know Welsh Wargaming, when he did his, he got the 3D printed ones from Paint and Glue, and they look really good. Just buy some crew, bit of hacking at the legs to make them fit, and add a bit of stowage, and they look really good.
Check out Offensive Miniatures.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they are seriously good Jeeps and things.
I found it.
Oh, thank God for that. Jesus.
Right. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I interrupted. Whatever it was you were talking about, I found it. I'm happy. It's Can I say? I didn't want to interrupt and just.
No, feel free.
You've blown the occasion. Now you might as well talk.
Sorry.
Go on. Yeah.
It's black. It's his livery coat is, but that better be what he wanted. His livery coat is black with a 5-pointed white star.
Can you show it on there like that?
Hang on.
There you go. That's his livery coat.
I can do that one. Who's that?
I could paint that one.
So that's all that's what he would be wearing, the Baron.
That's not what the Baron would be wearing. That's what his troops would be wearing. Right. He would be wearing his coat of arms. His coat of arms, which is on it. That's on his Wikipedia page. Which his coat of arms is just a variation of that. It's just that. So he would just have black with 6 stars on it.
Just 6 stars black all over his. That's probably where he's a bit stuck. He doesn't know whether to put that in quarters or not.
Yeah, no, that's not it. Because he has
one black coat and then just the 3 stars, then the 2, then
3, 2, then 1, and then with red dots in the middle of each one. Sorry, it upsets me when I can't find.
Thank you, Martin. You've just given me my next army. Well done. Thank you.
They're also part of the Courtney Bond. Well, I assume that's what he's doing. Is the Courtney Bonneville feud, which is another one of these blood feuds, like the Percy Neville one. Except it's down in Cornwall, and it's a bit like the Hatfield and the McCoys. They keep on needling each other for ages, and it breaks out, and they actually have a battle. This guy that he's doing got captured after the Second Battle of St Albans and beheaded by by Margaret. But the guys they're fighting against, the Earl of Devon, is one of Exeter's men, which was the other guy you were going to do, weren't it?
Oh, that's right.
At one point.
Oh yeah.
So,
they're fighting against.
So it's all a little
3 sides. Oh shit. Okay.
So it's all a little microcosm of everything that's going on. Sorry. There we go.
Martin, you've been blamed again.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, oh, right. He's tempted now. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, you just got to paint them black. Paint them black and do a little star. Did I just draw that on Microsoft Paint? No. No.
Just no.
I think Miller's been hanging out in the town that I grew up in. He's had a northern stab at it lately. I think he means another stab at it lately, but
northern stab.
Northern stab sounds quite
a northern stab. Is that using like a broken beer bottle? Is that? What
I was going to say, is that like a Glasgow kiss?
Quite possibly. Okay, before we wrap this up, because this has been fascinating. I've really enjoyed this. I'm going to end with not a painting question, but this is from the question that Travis asked last week on his Facebook group. What do you prefer, plastic infantry or metal infantry?
For what? You divisive git.
Can't we just have both for the best of all worlds?
Okay. What about
metal any time? And I don't mean the music variety.
So preparation then, because I think Travis said he hates preparing or working on plastic infantry. I know, I mean, as someone that works primarily in plastic, it's time consuming. Don't get me wrong. It really, really is time consuming, especially like me, where I'm currently looking for a new army to work on after I finish these US Airborne. And I really wanted to do an early war German Blitzkrieg army, but I won't do it because I won't be able to kitbash because there's nothing that's really compatible with that plastic box because it's a bit old. So it's off the table. I won't do it because I want to kitbash and convert.
So I'm with you.
Here, folks. Germans are off the table.
Plastic for quantity, metal for characters and dioramas. I mean, I would also go metal for if it's a small army or something like that. But I much prefer metal always.
Oh, I wish I could have clipped that. Dom saying he much prefers metal. That would be a good one.
You'd put a soundtrack to that, though, wouldn't
you? It's hard. I find it really, really hard because for my ECW, I really, really like Bicon miniatures and the bloody miniatures. I love them. But yeah, for quantity and knocking them out, I still like the plastics, like the cavalry I've done. They're all plastics. I don't know.
Here's a question then. So rather than whether you straight like or dislike like that, do you prefer, does it matter on periods? So you like a lot of metal with your ECWs, but only plastic for your Wars of the Roses, for instance.
I've got to be fair, I've got barely any metals in there, but I think that's just because of the quality of the kits that are available. Yes. I can, and as Ken has proved, I can, and you can convert all of your lords out of these sets. You don't have to buy. I mean, don't get me wrong, they make some really, really nice. I mean, they're Perry's. They make some really nice metal kits. The cannon, the Bombard is an amazing kit, and I highly recommend everyone.
I want to do the ambulance like ones that you get for the French.
Yeah, they're all really nice kits. So those kind of things are all really good, but you can pretty much make whatever you want out of these kits, and I think that's what Steve you're going to do, and Ken you're not. Yes. You're doing that as well, aren't you? But then there are people like Steel Fist, and I know Dog, you've got some Steel Fist in there, who make some lovely metals for characters, and you could just drop those in as well. So I think it comes down to the range and how it looks, because for Romans, for example, I wouldn't consider metal Romans because I don't think there's a lot. I'm going to get crucified. I don't think there's a lot to them that you can't get out of a plastic miniature.
No.
If that makes sense. Whereas there's like for something for say World War II, I love my metals for World War II. I'm going to be Steve's going to have some kind of hemorrhage. I've got all the old metal British Paras, and I love them.
The Red Devil ones, they are. I've got a few of them. They are really nice.
I'll be honest, I enjoyed painting them. They were quite nice.
What? Can we clip that, please?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there are some metal figures that I've painted. I mean, I've said before, my bolt action Australian Army, it's the entire range is metals, no plastics, and that's one of my favorite bolt action armies. I loved every minute of painting that army, even though it was metal. So I'm not completely averse to painting metal. Just not.
Miller throwing his opinion in here.
Yes.
And then Carl's representing there with the resin. I like painting resin, but there's so many different types. Like the resin, the people using Wild West Exodus is really chunky, heavy resin.
Oh, it is.
And then I've painted some other stuff. I can't remember what it was for now. And my paintbrush snapped it. I couldn't believe it. I can't remember what that was.
I struggle with resin a lot of the time. I love the detail of it. I love the look of it, but sometimes I find it really hard to paint.
We should
World resin was.
We should do
most of it. Paint on detail.
We should do a clip show at the end of the year. All these clips that you wanted to, like the thing, like they do in all like in sitcoms where they can't think of anything, so they have to just make
do a compilation. Do you think it's time for some news then, chaps?
Oh, hang on, we got that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Cracking. Has anyone got any news? I hope you have.
Yeah.
No.
There is news.
There is
news.
I saw someone had uploaded it, so I'm guessing there is.
Yeah, I've uploaded a couple of things. Where are they now? I think. Haven posts. So I think Carl from Mrs. Minnie's got these at the moment. 12 pack of 12, I think it is. 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. No, resin. Which look rather good if you like Frenchies. Don't know why you'd want them, but there you go.
Yeah, the Avonpost Frenchies are beautiful. I need to. I did. That's one unit. I've got 15, and the 16th unit is going to be my Avonpost ones when I go back to actually painting. Because I've got 24 individual unique ones, so I am looking forward to doing that.
They do look nice, I have to say.
They are nice. They're fantastic. They really are.
And V&V 100 Years War Command Group, which also looks rather good. That won't work.
They are nice.
Our period, will it? But they're rather nice. Rather nice figures. What else did I see? Oh yeah, North Star. They've started a range of Napoleonic skirmish troops. So this is Spanish guerrillas. So there's a couple of packs of those. There's also got some French voltigeurs and an officer for each side, which is for the muskets and tomahawks, shakos and bayonet as it is for that period. And they look quite good actually. I do quite like North Star. They're quite chunky, but they paint up really nicely.
But there's a lot of character to them. I haven't used them that yet. I really want to play some muskets and tomahawks, but I did that whole unit of grenadiers, and they were Crusader miniatures, which is North Star, isn't it? Crusader.
Yeah, well, they own them.
Yeah, fantastic. That's something. I know we were talking about Crack Con. You should put on some muskets and tomahawks.
Yeah, that'd be a good game. Yeah. I think, controversially, I think muskets and tomahawks is better than shakos and bayonets, but that's just me being controversial. But they're good. Good. We also talked about this last week. I think the Victrix are doing their next set is going to be late Romans. So this is their command renders, which look very nice indeed as well.
These ones standing up straight.
Yeah. Jeez. What else do we have?
So some stuff Atlantic. Get anything from them?
Ooh, didn't see them.
So this is Warlords of Iran, samurai riding lion dogs. They do look rather sweet, don't they?
They look nice.
So there's that. And also for this Mystic America set, that snake thing.
That's quite cool.
That is actually quite nice.
Again, I could see that being used in an RPG as like the end of dungeon boss. That's quite cool. I quite like that.
And the other one I picked out, I mean, they've got quite a range coming out of these, and I really haven't explored them too much because it's not my thing. But look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool as well, man. I've seen that. Jumping off a cliff. Sort of
can I just say that wouldn't be cool on a t-shirt, just saying.
Yeah, not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
That is cool. I like that.
And although they put their prices up, apparently they've got a price freeze at the moment on battle sets.
They've frozen their battle sets, haven't they?
Yeah, that just reminds me that I uploaded something before. Where is it?
Yes,
that one. So any starter set at army and receive 2 free sprues.
Is it me or Warlords just doing more and more offers at the moment? Just constant offers?
Well, their social media manager is new from the last year, isn't she? She's really like on it, isn't they? I think they got to keep up with the 21st century, innit? Because third-party retailers like our good friend Jim, that you're going to get 30% off. Why would you go direct when you can get 30% off with Jim?
I think it's time to show the code. Is it just make sure I don't nouse this up. It's the one right at the bottom, isn't it? Is it PCP 10?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
There we go.
And just order more Perrys, just so he gets a bigger order for the Perrys. Yeah. And they're like, who the hell is this guy that's ordered a pallet load of Perrys?
Yeah.
Why have our sales dried up?
So, just to say, if you are ordering anything from the sponsor, Reaper Games, Evil Jim, use the code thus, and you get a nice 10% off, including, and you can add that to the 20% you're already getting off anyway. So a massive, hugely Grim Reaper-esque 30% off your purchase. Can't go wrong with that.
I saw something that I thought was quite cool. Well, I say quite cool. It's going to be expensive, but I thought I'd share them because we do occasionally share stuff from GW, and this came up. They've got some dragons now. What do you think of that?
Ooh,
Oh, that's
That's
rather
quite
nice,
cool.
isn't it?
I mean, it's going to it's blatantly going to be.
£100
Oh, it will be. But yeah, they got to because it's been a very long time. I think so they've actually released a dragon.
Have you noticed the design of these are a bit like the Orc? They're trying to be a bit less cartoony.
Yeah, more classic.
That one's got all some kind of like scarring down one side of it. I assume that's the evil dragon, and then you've got the sort of that one. I've got to say, I mean, I wouldn't buy them because, if I wanted to, I just thought they were actually quite cool. I quite think they look quite cool. I like the design on the actual for the dragon. I think the heads that look quite nifty. Don't you say? But I wouldn't buy. You know, they're gonna be over 100. If the giants are 90 quid, then that's gonna be
120 quid, aren't they?
But yeah, I saw that just before we came online. So I thought.
I mean,
yeah,
I know I say this every week, but god damn, they make some nice figures. They do.
Yeah. 100%.
You can't argue with them. They do.
No.
What you'll get though is that you find out that those aren't plastic. That it's going to be fine cast or something.
Yeah, well, they're not doing fine cast. They're not doing fine cast anymore.
Are they not?
No, all their models are moving away from their resin, so anything they sell will be in plastic.
Do you know what? I never bought any. I almost bought when it's 2013 when I started that Imperial Guard or Astra Militarum or whatever the hell they're called these days. I almost bought the fine cast Commissar, but I didn't. I didn't bother.
Yeah, I will chuck this up here as well. I'll share the page in a second. I will find it, but there was a bit of news, and if you're into your fantasy-esque sort of stuff, I know that not many people are on it, but some people like it, some people don't. But there was a bit of a controversial sort of thing a few years ago when Age of Sigmar come out.
Oh yes, I know.
Yeah, you know, do you? Where is that thing? Come on, sorry. Where the hell has it gone? That one. So the old world Warhammer. So the original game is coming back, and they are redoing it. This news is not brand new, but they give us a lot more details, and they've confirmed a few things. So square bases.
Yeah, I think they were really, really keen to reiterate virtually every 30 seconds. Square bases are back.
Yes, so square bases. So you spent all that money changing them to round bases. Now change it back to square. Different scales. So no, they're going to keep the same models. It's basically a redo of their 8th edition. What they've done, they've taken all their rules from what they like from 3rd edition fantasy all the way up to 8th, and they're going to combine it, and they're going to make a new set of rules. So basically, Warhammer Fantasy is back. So
I think
I never got to play this.
I think they said it's set 600 years before
end times.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you can tell it's ancient times because they got square bases rather than round ones, and that's clearly something that happened.
Well, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because that means like Martin can still use his Empire stuff, you know. So
which I've just put on massive multi bases.
Yeah, but you can still use it as long as the frontage is right, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
I know who's not going to be happy with the news.
Who's that?
Do you remember when they first announced that old Warhammer was going away and Age of Sigmar was coming out? There was a video on YouTube.
Oh, that man who melted all his stuff.
He set fire to his high elf army.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He melted it all. Yeah.
Just set fire to the entire thing.
Yeah.
I don't imagine he's too happy with the developments of the past week or so.
What a dick.
Yeah, so that's definitely
what is the point of that? Jesus.
Right, let's have a look at some of the community's pictures that have been sent in, and there's been some absolute corkers this week. There really has. Let's have a look. If I can find them.
There's another one which is out of the order, which is just above the ones you've put up.
Oh, is this the update from Miller?
Yeah, it is. That is indeed.
Check it out.
He's done it.
Oh, it's there. It's done.
Oh, nice.
He's done it. He's done it. Yeah, he's sent a few photos of it. There's our challenge. He's done it. So I mean, I think he's saying as well in the comments, he did say if anyone's got any advice or any ideas for things that could be put in there. But to be honest, like, I don't think he needs that, because if once you put some scatter terrain in there, like some barrels or some tents, and you've got the models in there, you don't want it to be overcrowded. I think it looks great. No, I think everything else, yeah.
You could use that in like Eastern Front bolt action. That looks like
that'd work, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah.
That's very, very impressive, Miller.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, mate. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Really good, really cracking work. That is he bringing that to CrackCon?
Yeah,
I believe he is. Yeah, which was part of which is something we have to ask a little bit later, isn't it? Because they go on sale in a week. But yes, I believe I believe he's yes, I believe Miller is running either Piker's Shot or Pikeman's Lament or something like that, based around this star fort, which will have pride of place in the middle of a table. And yeah, I think it'll look great. I think once it's got troops in it, it looks stunning now. Once it's got a lovely royalist flag flying in the middle of it, it'll look even better.
Really, really sweet.
That's going to be a fantastic centerpiece. That. Let's move on to some others. So here's Brendan with these. Oh, is it Opal Cheney?
Opal Cheney, yay!
Someone will have to enlighten me because I'm clueless.
So they are Russian Napoleonic militia troops that were called up when the French invaded Russia in 1812.
Ah, right, got you.
And they are apparently, allegedly, which is why he's done exactly the same as I've done with mine, the Prussian landwehr that were later on, which these are actually a kit from, were modelled on the Opal Cheney, which is why you can get away with doing the same troops.
I really love the scarves that he's put on these guys.
It's made them look really cold.
It is. They look a bit.
They look amazing.
Love it. I love it.
After last week's crap weather, a bit of a tonic. Okay, so from the Napoleonics, we've got some here from Jim. Some bolt action armor.
Nice. I can feel myself itching to get back and do some bolt action.
World War II.
Yeah. I've got a couple of vehicles coming up soon. I'm finishing all my foot stompers before getting onto the actual armor. But they are fantastic, and good to see a nice Churchill at the back there as well. A fantastic and sort of really a classic World War II tank. Now these
oh yeah, look at it. I just thought big red bat bases. I love them. But yeah, very, very nice stuff. I think he said these are royalists, but really, really nice. I also like he's done them in 3 ranks.
Yeah.
Which I think it's when I've seen pictures of To the Strongest, I know they're all modelled in 3 ranks. But yeah, I think that looks wicked. It's just so smooth, the colours on those.
So that was Joe. With some they are. The Christmas on that painting is fantastic.
Yeah, really nice.
Here's one that Ken might be interested in.
Oh yes,
these are from Mark. Some Zouaves.
Yeah, definitely.
Epic battles from Warlord. They are nice. Are they metal?
Yeah, they are.
I thought they were.
Yeah, they are.
They look really nice though.
Yeah, they are. They are very, very nice. I'm looking forward to doing those. I'm very much looking forward to doing those. It's going to be one of them. Needs to happen soon. When I'm going to go between the units. I think like do one of like War of Roses, then do some Epic, and then do Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
just keep it all going good.
And here we have some from not I blame Martin, but another Martin. We can't blame him for anything. And these are some zombies from Zombicide. They're great, aren't they?
They're cool. I love that game. It's impossible, but I love that game.
I love that. I love the flesh tone, the green flesh tones on them. That's really, really, really against that yellow as well. Really striking.
Oh, very good, aren't they? I like them. Yeah.
Are they metal or plastic?
They're plastic.
Yeah,
they're plastic. That's another thing, actually. I suppose just thinking about it for CrackCon as well. If anyone wants to bring some board games with them, like Zombicide, bring them. It's all games, isn't it? That's always Hastings.
Some Hastings from Paul.
Nicely done, Paul.
Yeah, very, very cool. I like that. I just like seeing them. The Yorkist ranks swell.
I like the way that Dom normally he can't say Yorkish without following it with Yorkish thugs. That's that tends to be the following term.
Yeah.
These are just fantastic.
Oh, those are, Atlantis.
Is that Richard?
That's Richard. Yeah.
Is that Richard? Yeah. These are what he's using for ogres in his or trolls in his True to Tolkien project. I mean, they are lovely. That flesh is wicked.
It is. It's just
beautiful. The models are fantastic, and he's done them absolute justice.
Yes, the flesh on them is absolutely brilliant. Okay, up next we have Stig with some late Roman legionaries.
Hey, I do like those. Are those gripping beast?
I think they are gripping beast. Yes.
Or are they footsore? Oh no, are they footsore metal?
I think they're gripping beast.
I think they're gripping beast. I'm pretty sure.
I do really like the late Roman models. I like the armor. I like the shields. I think they look really cool, and those are really nice.
I love those shields. Are fantastic. Let's have a look. Some more work from Tony and his Spirit of, is it Duruth, if I can remember, from Age of Sigmar.
That is cool.
I
really like. I do like the tree people, but they've turned. I can't remember. I was watching a YouTube video and it just kind of ran into like the history that the tree people are now basically murderers. Like they just murder everything. It's like, and then plant a little flower in the corpse kind of thing.
It's a bit dark, isn't it?
Yeah, it does look cool though. It looks so cool.
And we've got other tone. We've got
little legions.
The footsore.
I thought they were gripping beasts. They look very similar. But anyway, yeah, apparently they're footsore.
And we have other Tony with some more Wars of the Roses.
He's doing Chewsbury.
Yeah.
And so you got King Edward in there. So look, more Sun in Splendor is very nice. Very nice.
Nice unit.
Yeah, they're nice. What I like about them is the drab. No, so all the browns and the greens, very muted. Yeah,
nice and dirty.
Yeah. Can we clip that one as well?
I approve.
Yes.
And last but not least, some more coolness from Warren with some dwarfs.
Did I see this right? Did he 3D print those?
I think he's doing a lot of 3D printing.
But like resin, right? They're resin, right? Surely.
Yeah.
Because they are wicked. They remind me of some of the early GW stuff, but they are lovely.
They're nice. Really, really nice stuff.
Brother Ken is making so much noise tonight.
So thank you to everyone that sent in pictures last week. We couldn't get to everyone, but it's just some awesome stuff. That's why I said about the painting clinic. We're very, very lucky to have in the community some fantastic painters who definitely know their stuff. And unlike me, don't just throw Agrax Earthshade over everything and hope some of it sticks. Because that's my. I might do a video on why I love Agrax Earthshade. It's like,
I think it's liquid talent, isn't it?
It is liquid talent. I can't paint without it. The weird thing is though, I've not used it on those Landsknecks. No Agrax at all on them. I have withdrawal symptoms. Well, we're very, very close to 10 o'clock, chat.
Oh,
and it's been a great stream. I've learned lots from the painting clinic.
Well, this is good. This is a good thing. Do you
want to bless us with your paintbrush?
I also learned something about Ken that I can't unforget.
No. I suppose we should probably say about the tickets because we haven't got another stream, have we? Before they go on sale.
No.
So, Martin, if you'd like to give a public service announcement.
Okay. We don't have any kind of fanfare for that, do we? We don't have a thing. So I was about to hit my desk like that, and then I looked at all the models on it and thought, no, I'm not going to. Right. So the tickets are going on sale on the 1st of August. Have we decided a time?
Midday
on the 1st of August. They will go on sale. So UK time, Greenwich Mean Time. And if you're in the Facebook group, there will be, we'll put up a post about it. If you're not in the Facebook group and you want to receive the alert, you need to send an email to the Plastic Crack Podcast email address, which is below in the description.
Martin, we can put it all in. We can post it all in our comments on our channels as well.
Yes, we can do all that. We'll put those up, so you can go on there, and you can buy some tickets. And then over the next few weeks, we'll have a chat about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and panic because it's actually happening.
I know, shit. We got to put it together, which actually leads us on to our guest next week, who might be able to give us some help with this. So we have a gentleman from South London Warlords, famous for putting on Salute. Yes. Mac is his name, who's going to come on and give us a bit of insight into what takes to put on Salute, maybe a bit of heads up on what's happening this year, and give us some advice on running a bloody show, because we've got no idea. So that'll be next week.
Fantastic. So yeah,
yeah, I think I'll be mine unless anybody else wants to take him, but that's fine. I'm happy to do it.
No, that's really cool.
That's fine with me. So we're there, and apart from Louis asking to stay on for another hour, it's like being at a rock concert. This
lock in.
and General Haig, it's true.
It is true, very true.
Yeah. It's where he's going to come at CrackCon. He'll be in a I was about to say frock, but habit. He'll be wearing a habit, and he will bless all of the dice before we roll.
I want Ken to turn up. I want him to turn up dressed like Bishop Brennan from Father Ted.
I want him to turn up like the baby Bishop of Bath and Wells from Blackadder.
I am a colossal pervert.
Can I do bashing the Bishop joke now, please?
You can want to end.
Yeah, it's on Steve's channel, so it's fine.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. Right, we are all off. Big thank you to everyone that showed up tonight and participated in the chat with some cracking painting chat. I think I've got my inspiration back, so I'll be painting some things tomorrow night. Again, another big thank you to everyone that's catching up on the replay. CrackCon fancy dress. Is this my Lanchnet cod piece ensemble?
I think so,
yes.
Mate.
Right, we're off. Have a great night, everybody.
Take care.
See you later. We're going to go and have a conversation with Ken.
Yes.
And hope he doesn't strike it. Hope he doesn't strike us down. Right. We'll see everybody next week on Dom's channel. So see everyone next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.